Hi, this is Stan Yan. In laying out my comics, I'm trying a app on my iPad called Comic Draw, so I'm going to show you a few of the things that I've learned. So after you've installed and launched Comic Draw, you just use the plus icon in the upper left-hand corner to launch a new project. Now if you click on this plus here, you can actually adjust your page size and trim size, your margins and things like that, which I've already done here. So I've got this new template that I've created that is the same size as a lot of the Scholastic graphic novel books. And so what I'm going to do first here as I launch my new page is actually copy over my scripting. So if I move over to the script page here by clicking on the wrench icon and go over to my Dropbox where I can actually view my script. So I'm going to move this over from my Salem Charter Academy project that I'm currently submitting to literary agents. And what I'm going to do here is go ahead and highlight all the text on my first page and just press Command Z to copy it, or just click on the icon there. And then I just paste it right here. Now the cool thing about Comic Draw and Comic Life, which is what I started using previous to this, but you can't, this app has drawing capabilities, is when you put your scripts in, it actually can identify based on your labels, like panels, captions, things like that, what type of block of text this is. So when I go ahead and move over to the split screen that shows you both the script and the comic, I can actually drag over this panel icon Now ordinarily I wouldn't make it the size of the whole page, but I'm actually setting up the title page here just to show you some things. Now I'm going into the settings here, which is the paintbrush icon, and getting rid of the panel border around it since I really don't need that. Now if I actually hover over that rectangular masking icon, it brings up an area where I can import images from my photo album, which I'm going to do here. I'm going to go to my portfolio album and put in the title page right there. Ta-da! When I want to add a new page, I click on the sheet icon and click on the plus. Now, adding a caption is as easy as going ahead and dragging the caption icon over to the panel that you'd like to connect it with. Now if you click on the paintbrush, we can go ahead and set a default style for our caption box. So if I go over to options, click on border, I can make the width 2 points instead of 1 point. And then if I go over to caption and click on text options, I can get rid of the italicization and then click on the font and choose Migne Nouvelle, and maybe make it center justified. And we can also increase the inset margin by 3 points, which is the buffer from the edge, and then I'm going to increase it to 12 point as a style. Now if I click on the pencil icon, it makes it the default setting. If I just want to go ahead and add a new setting, then I can just press the plus icon, and there we go. We just resize it and voila. So check it out. The next time we create a caption, it's already pre-formatted for us. Now one of the things I'm noticing as I copy my scripts over is that a lot of the formatting doesn't come along with it, and as a result a lot of the speech bubbles I have to actually backspace after the name of the character to get the speech bubble icons to pop up. So Not a huge deal, but just something to be aware of. Now when you want to add another page, just go up to the paper icon and go ahead and add a new page by clicking the plus. Later on I actually started duplicating pages so that I could copy over the page numbers. But anyway, then I drag over a panel, and I figured out that I kind of really like to create my full pages over at Procreate. So I'm just going to create my whole page in a single panel here, and then add the speech bubbles and captions later on. And then I'm going to use this paste from photos and select my image that I'm going to use. And then going back to the scripting, I can go ahead and start adding some of the text after I click over on the speech bubble icon in the middle of the screen there. And there we go. So speech bubbles are a little bit trickier here. So once I drag over a speech bubble, then let me show you how to format it. Click on the paintbrush icon, and I'm going to go ahead and modify the border by clicking through on style, and then on the balloon, moving the variety on the standard balloon actually squares off the balloon, which I really like. I think it's a little bit more space efficient. I want my tail to be a little bit thicker, so I set it at medium, and then under text options I can actually modify the font to Minion Nouvelle, and then I can go ahead and resize it. Now you'll notice that the tail is on the wrong side of the speech bubble. That's easy to deal with. You see there's a node on it, and if you stretch it enough, it actually shows you another node where you can reshape these little inflection points on your tails and change the shapes of them. The one thing I don't like is that that little inflection point tends to disappear if your tail is a little bit too short, but again, just if you lose it, just stretch out your tail. Now if you want to go ahead and set this as a default so that you don't have to keep setting all this over again, just go to your style, and if you click on the pencil icon, it will actually overwrite your default. If you press the plus sign, then it'll actually create a new style that you can just quickly and easily apply to a speech bubble that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and create a speech bubble for Terry the Tapeworm. And if I click on style and select the style that I have for Terry, then it'll give him his font. And unfortunately the bubble type I've got to set manually each time. So I'm going to go ahead and select rough to give him that jaggy little border. And then here we go. We're going to go ahead and adjust the tail again. If you want to connect two speech bubbles, then go ahead on the left hand side, select that speech bubble that has that little plus instead of the tail, and then what you'll do is actually highlight an area that ends on the speech bubble that you want to connect to. And unfortunately you have to cut and paste the text over on these balloons, or I haven't figured out a way of doing any of that preset formatting on it. So you do, in this case, you would have to go through and set all of your font and font size options and things like that. So and justification. So that's Comic Draw, made by Plask. It's available. I'm actually doing a free trial right now, but eventually I think it's like $9.99 to purchase, so not a big deal, and pretty good program.